Hey, Group G. All right, I want to give you guys a quick little update about your ePortfolio. So in week 6, you have quite a few things that are due. So your project 1 should be completely filled out. So this link right here, you need to have everything filled out. And then you need to have a good portion of your habits of mind as well as the WPA outcomes written. For your course, you will also have an additional tab at the end, or kind of wherever you want, but called Metacognitions. You also need to have your Project 1 metacognition written there as well. So again, quite a few things. So I want to scroll through and just show you a couple of ways where you can include, embed different sorts of information that will help your portfolio read and feel almost more like a website than it does just a paper portfolio. So that's kind of one of the cool things we get to do with this digital electronic portfolio. All right, so in project 1, I've clicked on my tab here and you can see what I've done is I have embedded both the picture and then the full project 1 here. So this is literally every piece of my project 1 paper as well as the appendix that's written there, okay? The other portions here that I wanted to show you that are required are the multimodal draft. For project 1, you don't have one of these. You will for project 2. You will want your revision plan as well as the analysis written here. So this is again where I have copied and pasted the revision analysis that I did for my project 1 there. My rough draft and my rough multimodal draft are also attached here as well. So any of these little assignments that were geared to help you either begin project 1, such as the free write, those sort of things could also go here as well. And you would just add an additional link here on the side. Okay? All right, so that one is pretty straightforward. Let me know if you do have any questions about it. But I want to skip over to habits of mind and WPA outcomes just because they require a little bit more work. So WPA outcomes, you can see I just left the 4 links here. These are the 4 main topics of the WPA outcomes. So the first one is under rhetorical knowledge. And what I did is I just kind of centered and italicized the key points here under the rhetorical knowledge. Those were already included with the draft. So here's the second one, gain experience reading and composing. The third one, develop facility and responding. So under each one of those 3, or here's the 4th one, topics, I also included a really good amount of evidence that is showing how I used or how I gained, for this instance, the rhetorical knowledge. So the first one, learn and use key rhetorical concepts through analyzing and composing a variety of text. So what I've done here is I said in project 1, I identified Menzel's use of the 3 rhetorical appeals throughout my paper, but introduced the effects in my introduction. So here I've copied and pasted again parts of my paper, so not the entire thing since that is already under project 1, but I included the pieces that are really helping to support this statement that then is used as evidence of my rhetorical knowledge that I've gained. So that's kind of the main process that you'll want to take as you're composing your ePortfolio, is think about what is this. It's kind of almost a prompt. Then you want to cite clear evidence, and then you want to include the evidence as well from the work. So this is a brief summary statement, and then the evidence included. You can also do different things like here, this is the picture that I included for part of my project. And again, you can see where I have the ellipses. These are just pieces of my paper. And again, here I'm talking about logos, ethos, and pathos, which you're about to learn about for the rhetorical appeals. So I just kind of dissected those pieces out. One of the other important things that you can do, again, kind of treating this like a website, is to embed hyperlinks to the full document. So anytime that you are just including a piece of a work that you have done, you can always include the link to the full draft, so that way your viewer would just be able to click here and then a download box is going to pop up that will enable them to download that draft. Okay? So here again, I'm embedding pictures. You have kind of a text introduction. You have the highlighted portion that is really where I'm demonstrating how I have learned the different appeals and how I am adding those into my works, and then how they've also been able to help me in other writing. This is a different format, but what I did is all of the different works are hyperlinked here as well. So again, the rough draft assessment, the multimodal project, so again my viewer could be able to click there. And what this is doing is, again, it's going to allow them to download my rough draft assessment, where here where I mention it, there they can view the entire document, okay? All right. So I think that's everything I wanted to show you on this portion. Let me scroll back up and go to the critical thinking, reading, and composing. So same idea, I'm including a brief statement, I'm highlighting the main piece of evidence, but then I'm also embedding or including pieces from Project 1 and, for me, my Project 2 that really help support those statements of learning, and that is going to be the key to having a strong portfolio. Here's another example where I used the gallery function to show a few of the examples of the diverse range of materials that I explored gathering evidence. Part of the WP outcomes is reading a diverse range of text, so I wanted to make sure that I was showing how I did that. So I just took screenshots of the different websites and the different online research that I did, and then I included those as one gallery, and this is all for my Project 2. And each one of the pictures has just a sentence or two explaining exactly what that picture is under it. But this is another way you can break up the monotony of an all-text portfolio and really help it come to life. This is another example where what I did is I took the keywords from the prompt and then used that to really help strengthen and to hone in my paragraph. So when I was writing, I put in bold all those same words that I was using that are from this prompt. And again, what that does is it ties back the evidence that I'm showing to the prompt that is required. So again, really just want to emphasize the amount of evidence that needs to go into this, as well as the different types of formatting that you can use. So habits of mind, same sort of idea. I kept the 8 different tabs open over here, and then kept the initial bullet points, and then added my own kind of words under them as well. So this one is a little bit more simple. It is a little bit more text-based. You can also see I do have hyperlinks here as well. So the more you can hyperlink information so that I don't have to, if you're referring to Project 1, I don't have to scroll up to Project 1, scroll to your final draft, and then try and read that to find it. I'm able to click and go straight to that point. Engagement is a piece where you can see there's a lot of text here. That is original text too. This isn't copied and pasted from any other section. So again, you're going to need to be writing a lot for the WPA and the habits of mind. But then also being able to include visuals. So this was an email that I sent. And then even these are some of the notes that I took from the ebook that really helped me and were geared towards what I am talking about as far as proof of what I learned and proof of the work that I did in order to incorporate that material into the class. Alright guys, so that's just what I wanted to show you as far as kind of the amount of text as well as the formatting and the different options you have for embedding for your first, or this is I guess the second portfolio update, but the first after Project 1. Please feel free to email me with any questions on how to use Digication, and don't forget that on the homepage of our course website, when you go to Digication, there's several good videos on the bottom of the page that will show you how to use all the different formats in here. The last thing I want to leave you with is when you're in edit mode, anytime that you add a new module that would allow you to type in or add pictures or a gallery, anything like that, you want to make sure that you are clicking save and then publish. If you don't do that, then your changes will not be saved. So that is how it's kind of like in a Microsoft Word document. You want to save as you go. It's kind of the same thing. Be sure to save, be sure to publish before you add another module or before you move off the page. All right, guys, best of luck this